Now that you've gotten a reply on your research lab inquiries, most likely to meet virtually or in person, it's time to learn what to do next. Hi, I'm Shivani Mehta, your resident research expert at MedSchoolCoach, and I'm here to help to discuss how to land a research lab experience with a strong mentor. So let's get to it. I want you to approach your upcoming meetings with 4 things in mind. First, how can you show up with your best foot forward? Second, is the mentor the right fit for you? Third, is the lab the right fit for you? And fourth, how can this lab help me reach my goals? So for number 1, how can you show up by putting your best foot forward? The first thing to do before you head into an interview is to do your research on the lab and its members. Make sure you know the lab's primary disciplines and scopes, and research before you head into the interview. Start by searching for the primary investigator or the PI's name on PubMed to review some of the papers they have published recently. PubMed is a comprehensive online database that provides access to a vast collection of biomedical literature, including research articles and abstracts. If you don't understand every word of the papers that you look up, don't worry about it. You're just starting out in your research career and you'll have plenty of time to better understand your lab's work. The main thing is that you understand the gist of what you're reading so that you can bring it up in the interview. Take notes on the areas of confusion and ask about them during your interview. Have a set of questions to show the interviewer that you're curious and eager to learn about their research. Lastly, practice talking about yourself in a nutshell. They may ask you to tell them about your previous background, and even if you don't have research, try to emphasize useful skills such as leadership, volunteer experiences, or even academic achievements. Whatever will show them that you are consistent and capable. Now, let's look at number 2. Try to figure out if this mentor is the right fit for you. As you're interviewing, whether with the PI or with another lab member, you will likely get a feel for how your PI runs the research team. Some PIs are less present, checking in occasionally but relying on other lab members to oversee daily functions. As a student researcher, you want to find a PI who will support your career goals and ultimately guide you to be the best researcher you can be. Often a good option will be a PI who has previously mentored undergrad students on the pre-med professions track. A big benefit of these types of PIs is their increased likelihood of understanding your other pre-med obligations and fluctuating time commitments. Other times it could simply be with someone who is newer faculty and just eager to mentor highly motivated students. If your goal is to publish, you may also want to look at if the PI has recent publications and if they are including undergrad students in their publications. A good way to check this is by looking at their CV or searching their most recent articles on PubMed and checking the author's credentials on the manuscripts to see if any of them were undergrads. Some PIs have strict policy not to include undergrads in their publications, while others are very open to it, so it's good to figure this out early on. Now, let's look at number 3. Is this lab the right fit for you? Labs can be different sizes with different amounts of people and projects. The size of the lab is directly related to the type of experience you will have, and everyone's preferences are different. Big labs or giant research teams are generally structured and will have a set lab hierarchy. You will likely be paired with a grad student or a postdoctoral student with whom you will primarily work with and communicate. This may be a good fit for you if you preferred structured experiences where your duties will be clearly laid out. Small labs are different. You may see one person filling 2 or 3 roles. You might still be working with a grad student or a postdoc, but you might also have the opportunity to work directly with the PI. Smaller labs tend to be a bit scrappier. You may be expected to learn faster, take on more responsibilities. At the same time, there is an opportunity to vocalize your ideas more and sit in on important meetings early on when you start in the lab. Your tasks are not always systematically set out for you as they would be in a bigger lab, but you will have some more access to your PI and your team. A small lab is a good fit for someone who is more creative, enjoys a looser work structure, feels comfortable reaching out for help. It's always good to ask the person that's interviewing you, the type of lab structure, and who you will be working directly with. This will give you a great sense of if it's a good fit for you. Now, let's look at number 4. Discuss your future goals. We want you to emphasize that this is the meeting to touch on your goals as a student researcher. Remember that working in a lab is not just one-sided. You are also giving your time in the lab in exchange for mentorship. Ultimately, we want you to find someone ready to mentor you, has a lab workspace that fits your working style, and will keep your future goals in mind. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.